Workshop for Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. We currently have all the department heads and 5 out of 7 city councilors present, with the other 2 expected to show up momentarily. With that, Sonia, what do you got for us for the 2026 budget workshop tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, let's come up here, and this is going to be very quick. I want to give you an overview of where we are. Sorry about having to turn the chairs around. We are. So the budget before you tonight reflects council direction, prior workshops, and the reality of this fiscal year. It balances services, affordability, and long-term stability. Staff focus on protecting core services while responding to our revenue pressures, which we know was the state revenue sharing. The budget as it stands right now is $478,667 over what it was last year, and you have sheets that give you exactly what Laura provided for you. That represents 68 cents increase in the mill rate, and we are at a 3.11% increase for the year entirely. There's some conversation about using TIF to offset downtown expenses. That's $175,000. That would take it down to $303,667. That means a 40.43 cent increase and a 1.9% increase in our ask for. Here are some pressure points. We talked about some of these pressure points last time. There are also things that are unresolved at the moment. So reclassifying the deputy finance director to accounts payable, it doesn't save a whole lot, but it saves some, and it aligns what we really need in that office. Outside requests, which is a little stickier, we capped at $5,000. What you have in front of you that Kim created, okay, is what we had from last year. What I have done based on council feedback, individual council feedback, is we have capped the request at $5,000. We've refunded Quaggy Joe $5,000, and the rest you'll see. I think it comes out to $38,000. And we were at 85 something.
34.
We're at 34, okay. Now, that takes that multi-year approach too, but it caps the request at 5,000. So there are specific entities that are asking for 20. This is certainly a policy shift, so you'll need to know about that tonight. There's some question about TIF expenses and whether or not we can use it for the downtown walkability, snow removal, salt. The letter that we talked about several weeks ago is actually in your packet that shows that we can use the TIF for services downtown. And then tax acquired properties and the money it's taking for the care and feeding of those. And then some, or one in particular, retirement that's been offered. So the ask tonight is approval of the fiscal year budget as presented. We'd like authorization to move forward. And assurances, we're going to keep monitoring the revenues and expenditures. We're going to look hard at that TIF to see that we can actually use that money out of the TIF for the expenses downtown. We're going to give you regular updates. That's that quarterly report you get from now on. And we're going to look at adjustments and any conditions or any changes you're going to find out of it. What we would ask is that you would fund at the beginning level without the TIF necessarily, so that it gives us a little more time to make certain that you can actually use that money. So that would be, Laura, can I have the grand total? Or at least just point it out on your sheets.
So what will it take with that?
Let's do without the TIF
That's
first.
the 478,667. Would be without the TIF. If you do utilize the TIF.
Yep. Right here.
We'd be at 303,667.
We're asking you to vote tonight to fund it at this amount, and to trust us that we're going to research this TIF amount. We would actually expense it right out of the TIF. And then this would bring that number down to this. And keeping in mind the outside requests, how we funded that, keeping in mind that one position change, I'm not recommending any other personnel changes to this budget whatsoever. And that's where we stand, and I would request your acceptance of the budget as it is presented.
I have one question. The TIF fund, how much money do we have in the TIF fund?
1.7. But that's a very complicated question, because some of it's encumbered.
Right.
Some of it's encumbered for specific projects.
Right, well,
All of it's encumbered for specific things.
that's where I was going with the question, is would that empty it, and do we have anything else for any projects?
It will not empty it. In fact, we calculated today there's an average about $150,000 that goes into the TIF district each year. So it isn't as though once you use it, it's never replenished. It does replenish, but it's something that if you're going to use it, you have to be very specific about what you do use it. But you've had and you have a copy of it tonight, you've had the TIF district laws and the letter of award that you used to make that determination.
So if we do pass it tonight, where's that gonna leave taxes next year?
6 years.
You know, assuming that this TIF idea gets passed and we expense some of those things out of there for the improvement of our downtown, then you're looking at this. But I would say we go with this budget here, and we will do our best to make sure that this happens.
I would not be comfortable taking area on aging from 62 to 5. I think we should leave that at 6,200.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
Thank you.
That would be an increase of 1,200, not 62.
Anything else, or can we put this budget to bed for another year and get busy working?
We had
We had a 16% decrease in state.
that's fine by me. And it's being used for downtown snow removal.
Thank you, can you say that out loud? Because that was awesome.
I was just looking, just so everybody's aware of what's gone into this budget, because I know everybody hasn't been in this meeting, but the work that's been done, so we have a 16% decrease in state revenue sharing this year. It's a significant amount, it's almost a fifth of that's big. Now look at that number, a 3% increase versus a 20% decrease. I mean, that's a good indicator of what they've done to try to, I can't think of anything else you can do, honestly.
I would love a motion. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
With that, I would entertain a motion. Somebody wants to make one.
It's Doug.
I haven't heard,
2/3.
You send them a message or no?
Progress.
Right there.
Okay. So, we have 6 out of 7. That we need all 7 to vote on the budget.
No, we need 6
No,
votes.
we need 6.
I thought you needed 5.
6, yeah, according to.
Thought we voted as all 7.
Alright, what I said. So we have enough to, enough to make a vote. Anybody got a motion?
I move we approve the 2026 budget with an increase of $478,667 plus an additional $1,200 change to fully fund area agency on aging.
Thank you, Mike. Motion made by Councilor Chassie. Anybody like to second?
Second it.
Seconded by Tim. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? All 6 of us. Motion passes.
Is there a more specific language you need for the budget?
So I spread out.
If you wanna,
Yeah, is there a-
if you wanna give it to me, I'll read it. Does this have the 1,200 in it or not?
Yep, I just put it back in.
Be it resolved, to accept the 2026 city budget appropriations by department as shown above. Total appropriations of $20,294,183, less total revenue of $11,080,000, or $11,080,200, for a net spending budget of $9,213,983 from the general fund. And for the airport fund, total expense of $5,899,269, less total revenue of $5,898,704, for a net appropriation from the general fund of $565.
Again, motion made by Mike and seconded by Tim. No further discussion, just 6-0 vote. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think we need to vote on this now.
Does that need to be revoted?
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor? Still 6-0.
Thank you,
Budget. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, everybody else. Everybody that had a hand in this. We truly appreciate all your efforts and everything you do to spend the taxpayers' dollars wisely. Thank you. Alright, motion made by Hank, then executive session. Second by Tim. Thank you very much, guys.
And listen.
Work on the purchase. I have a chance to visit
Yeah, no, I agree.